This is good culture.
What's going on, good people? This is the Good Culture Show. All my polymaths, my poets, my prophets, my practitioners, pundits, you, the good people of the culture. I am Shobaraka.
I'm Tryce Prince.
Hey, I'm Anastacia.
What's up? I'm Ian O'Brien.
How you doing? I'm Darryl Ford.
How you doing?
See,
I'm
that
Darryl
was
Ford.
necessary.
What? I'm trying to give an
Hello,
intro.
How you doing?
I'm
doing
doing
fine.
that.
I'm doing fine. Wonderful. Thank you. How you doing?
It adds something. It adds something.
It did. It did. It was great.
Yeah.
It was. You definitely. We gonna do a Midnight Storms
No,
episode
We
I think we should.
shall not.
I concur.
for the grown folk.
For the grown folk. Nah.
Midnight. All right. So today is our year in review episode. We're gonna talk about our favorite things as regard to music, film, books.
Culture in general.
Culture in general, but we're going to talk about what's good culture, some of the good culture that's happened this year. We're going to talk about the bad culture that's happened this year. But overall, how do you guys feel about 2025?
It was awful. I can't wait to get out of it.
Yeah, I hear you.
100%. Like total.
It's been a decade. It's been a decade's worth of 12 months.
Whatever you want to put in front of that.
So,
That's a good.
Yes.
Yeah.
come on. The first 3 months, I don't even think it was like the first 90 days. It was the first 60 days.
Forever.
Crazy.
Trump and Elon was acting a straight
They was
plumb
wildin'.
fool.
And
They was
they're not
wildin'.
even friends no more.
They was wilding.
They're not even friends.
But then they had a reconciliation. But then they had a reconciliation, which was weird.
It's goofy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
all
it's
goofy.
weird. It's wild.
Yeah. So that's how it was.
Yeah, so it's definitely been a year, but we haven't recorded an episode in between the last episode, I think, which was published, what may have been our episode with either Tony Deek or Malcolm Gladwell. Malcolm Gladwell was on that. We couldn't post that
Someday,
episode.
someday, we're gonna get
Unfortunately, we
big enough to get
couldn't
Malcolm Gladwell
post
too.
the episode with Malcolm Gladwell, so we went with Malcolm Foley instead.
Baby steps.
Yeah, but Anastacia, you have went through a series of things in between the last time we recorded, and today, would you like to share?
Sure. Personally, it's been a year, and we talked about
Yes.
this. We
Yep, we
lost
did.
our parents this year, so that was tough. And also, the devil tried to kill me. No, he tried to
not
take
today.
me-
Yeah, for
not
real.
today.
Not in 2025.
Long story short, I had a couple of emergency surgeries that landed me in the hospital for 3 weeks. I'm sure you can tell I'm a little lighter because of stress and illness. But
That's the only good thing about illness.
Stop.
Stop. It'll slim you down.
listen, slim you down. Okay, taking half of me back into 2026. But I told my brothers when I
What
saw
Satan meant for evil, God meant for good.
Come on.
the reset. I told my brothers that it was good to be seen and not viewed. I know that's what
with
people
your
say
old
all the
soul.
time.
That's
but
right.
Come on.
Yep.
In truth,
That's
it is
facts.
good to be seen and not viewed.
Amen.
The Lord is a healer. And so
Yes,
we'll leave it
yeah.
at that.
Amen.
That's awesome.
We're happy to have you back.
Praise
We
God
love
for
you.
you.
We were
being
praying
back
for
with
you.
us.
Yes,
Yep,
I missed y'all
absolutely.
truly.
It's a beautiful thing.
You all.
How about you, Tryce? Yeah, 2025.
2025 has been a long year, but it's been a good year. I feel like it's been a year of growth for me, not only as a scholar, as a writer, but as a person, as a father, as a husband. And so I've been grateful for 2025 for a lot of reasons, both personally and professionally. Looking forward to 2026, but thankful for 2025.
And as always, Trice, the hair is herring. Okay.
Hey,
Love to
I got
see
to
it.
shout out to my lovely wife for that. She is my loctician. And so
Listen,
my barber
you gotta
Terrell
pick
got
the
me
right
lined
one.
up, but
That's
my
what's
wife
up.
is my loctician.
you picked the
There you
right
go.
one.
Indeed.
Yeah, never mind.
Uh-oh.
Never mind.
I got
never
faith
mind.
for you. He healed me.
We
He's
gonna
like, he
pray
can
for
heal
you.
you too.
Come on, somebody. Is it an ailment?
Somebody get some oil.
Let the elders of the
Oil,
church
please.
come lay hands.
Is it an ailment?
Please.
Is the question.
Oh my God.
Is it a deficiency?
Hey man,
'Cause if so, we
every
do need to
time
lay
every time I
hands.
used to talk joke to my dad about being bald, he would start quoting that story about Elijah with the go up bald
Oh,
man
the
and
she
the
bears.
come ate him.
The she bears. Yeah.
So yeah, Yeah, so be careful talking too much junk because I don't know if they got bears in Atlanta or not. But
Nah, we got some YNs that'll do you.
We do got some YNs. What is that short for?
Young Negroes.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Some youthful Negroes. Speaking of youthful Negroes, Ian. How about
Hey, man.
you? Your 2025.
my year was good, man. It was a milestone year. I turned 40 this year.
Let's go.
Listen.
Yep, crossed some stuff off a bucket list. But like Tryce said, man, it's been a year of personal growth. In the last few years for me, it's been I've made it my goal moving forward to say that every year is the best year of my life so far. And so being able to kind of see where God's moving in my family and in other areas, and then finding a way to celebrate the good things that are happening in my personal life and family life, while also acknowledging the struggles that some people may have. And some people may look at 2025 as not so much of a banner year, and being able to kind of meet people where they're at while also not feeling guilty about celebrating the victories and milestones in my own life is lessons I've been learning the last couple of years. And this one, I think, probably the one I've been able to celebrate, kind of walk in that tension the most and the best, I would say.
And we celebrate with you, brother. We are happy for you.
Good.
Listen,
That's awesome.
Listen.
Yeah, I
Everybody
appreciate
needs
it.
a good year.
And it just also feels good that nobody guesses that I'm 40 until I tell them. So
Now we know.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
I just playing.
I know
Over
you
under was not in your favor, sir.
Oh gosh.
I'm just playing. Oh my God. I did have that thought. Like, it's giving. It's giving. Good job. You look good, brother.
Darryl,
Yes.
talk about your 2025, sir.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of what everybody has said. I mean, I think that there's a combination of rejoicing and a lot of transitions that have been good for me. But also there's a combination of kind of like Christmas oftentimes, there's the merry and then there's the melancholic. And I feel like that's what this year has been, right? It's been that tension that you were just talking about where, you have some good things that are happening. You also see some painful things that are happening. How do you not either get so lost in the melancholy that you can't celebrate the merry, and vice versa, and how do you also not get so caught up in the good things happening in your life that you can't mourn with those who mourn and weep with those who weep?
Yeah.
And I think it's been a year of learning both, honestly.
Yeah.
You're living in the book of Ecclesiastes, my
That's my book. That's me and my daughter. That's our favorite book together.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is.
My daughter loves the book as well, and she's going crazy behind the
Yeah,
camera.
let's go. Let's go.
For me, similarly, as Anastacia said, I lost my mom in April, and that was very tough. There's been some extreme highs, though, because I released an album this year.
A good album.
Yes, sir.
This is the first album she's ever listened to of mine, which is great. And she said it was good. And that's all I want. That's all I want.
And she said it was good. How about that?
And she
And
said
she
it was
said it was good. Let's go. Put it up there.
enjoyed it
Shameless
thoroughly.
plug. Shameless plug.
and so that is holding that joy and that suffering together.
Yeah.
But even in my mother's death, it was both very joyful.
Yeah.
One, because of I knew she was in pain, and in her dying hours, I think she wanted to die. Like she wanted to go be with the Father, and it also just expanded my world of the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
And that I am experiencing, and also starting to embrace some things that I probably wouldn't have embraced before.
Yeah.
Because my theology had restrictions on being able to embrace that stuff.
Talk about that.
But I am now fully embracing kind of like
I'm with you.
the phenomenal. You know what I mean?
I'm with you.
Come on.
And-
Let the ghost in.
Come on.
I'm with you.
I mean, it's gonna be the right ghost. Ain't let all kind of
That's
Right.
The ghost.
the ghost. Capital T, capital T, capital G.
Ain't no
these other
more,
ghosts,
ain't no
I
more
don't know.
spirit. It's the ghost.
This is
We gonna let every spirit in. And so no, it's been good, and that has been it's been a good work year. I think I've been also learning a lot about myself, and as I am maturing and starting to embrace that maturing and understanding that I am Unc. And guess what?
Cool.
You walk into spaces and you need to walk in with the authority of that Unc.
That's right.
And not sell yourself short. Don't play yourself small. Like people invite you to spaces because they value you and your voice.
Yeah.
And I'm learning to embrace that in a way that holds confidence and humility together.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful. We have a list of things we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about good culture. We're going to talk about. Hold on. Let me find this list. I can't. Why did the list disappear? I can't see the. Oh, we're going to talk about good culture. Each of us did the assignment except for Darryl. So we're going to do good culture. We're going to talk about the bad culture. We're going to share our favorite albums, our favorite TV or films, and then our books, and then maybe our favorite person, a thinker, or something of that nature. So anyway, so let's go ahead and start with good culture.
This is good culture.
Anastacia, you're listed first. Tell us about your good culture.
Quickly, it's personal. We'll see how many people can identify with this, but I think something that I would say is good culture is the Black homeschool movement that is burgeoning all over America. Black parents, millennial parents, are sick of traditional school. It's not only Black parents, but I think a lot of Black parents have the means or the community, the wherewithal, or just the disillusionment with traditional education that they are now beginning to organize themselves, I think, at a larger scale. It's not that it's brand new, but at a larger scale, and opt into just another way of educating their kids. Although I was an educator in a traditional school system, an assistant principal for 7 years, you could not have told me that I would be about to become a homeschool mom, because I believe in school. I come from a background of academics, but I'm seeing how, and this is not to disparage school, traditional school at all, but I'm seeing that there are viable alternatives. Not every kid needs the same thing, and I feel like my sons need something different than what is being offered in traditional school. And in just a few weeks, we have gathered 7 families and have found a bunch of networks online of Black families that are doing school differently for their kids. So they can be safer, they can learn their history, they can learn just a lot of what they may not get in traditional school. And I love to see it. I love to see Black people with options. So if you're choosing private school, good for you. If you're choosing charter school, good for you. Homeschool, public school, whatever your kids need. And I like that more Black people are seeing homeschool as a viable option for their kids.
Look at her sounding like a proponent for school choice.
I've been exposed to Black homeschool in Chicago in a way that I was not growing up in rural Southeast Oklahoma. Their homeschool, there's a particular archetype, there's a particular image that you had in mind, and it was not us. Okay.
Correct.
It was not us. But moving to Chicago and just seeing the amount of parents and families, both in the church and outside of the church, whenever we think of the alternative schooling in Chicago, there's a long history of that. But just seeing that up close has been something that's been really cool. And it's been something that's even impacted our family. Our kids are in a Waldorf school, and that, if you would have told me our kids would have been in a Waldorf school, I would have not have expected that. But just this alternative schooling has been something that we've been exposed to as well. And it's been really cool to see Black families in particular really take hold and take charge of their children's schooling and education in a way that opens up, I think, a lot of cool alternatives for Black kids in particular.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You got you bougie Black folks need to show love to the Hoteps and the Black queens who were doing this before. When it wasn't
The OGs who laid the ground, right?
the Hoteps was out there homeschooling
They were.
because they said
It was
this.
street schooling. It was homeschooling. They're schooling
Yo,
you everywhere.
Shout
Alley
out
schooling.
to the Hoteps, for real. This is not new, but I do think, and what I shared was, I think it's happening at another scale. And I
Yeah.
think more and more people
Are y'all doing a co-op or is it?
We are doing a co-op, and there's a school on the west side of Douglasville, a Christian
yeah.
school that has like hybrid options, and so we're doing every day with our kids. Shout out to my man, Richard Johnson.
Let's go.
Who is actually like the primary teacher of our children, like not
awesome.
me. And so
Nobody was shocked by that.
we'll circle back.
Yeah.
But that's something I don't think that people who don't know me would expect. But shout out to him and hybrid options, right? So our kids can participate in sports and
Right.
get the socialization. Like this is not your grandmother's homeschool where it's just y'all in a room, right? There are a lot of different ways to ensure that kids are learning diverse things and are able to interact with other children, play sports, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So
There's a wonderful book called The Book of Learning and Forgetting by Frank Smith, and he talks about the tired model of factory learning. You put a kid with their age group or whatever. Are you guys? What models are you?
yeah, we're just gonna move at their pace, right? And so
All age groups in a similar space, or
all of our friends in this particular co-op have kids that are similar age groups. Yeah. We all had kids like at the same time essentially, and so it works for us. I don't know what it'll look like once we like expand, or if we expand. You know, that's not my ambition. My
Right.
ambition is to ensure that Richard Johnson III and Dondie Mac Johnson got what they need. And so
There you
we'll
go.
see. But
That's it.
at present the kids are all around the same age.
Okay.
dope?
And the hybrid school that they're going to be attending has traditional grades, kindergarten first, et cetera, like, you know, in that way. And so, but I'm going to move them as fast or as slow as they need.
Right.
So,
I think we can all agree that's good culture. That's good culture.
Amen.
Come on. Well, all right, Ian. Would you like to go next? Talk to us
I'll go.
about what's good culture.
So I'm probably gonna have a little bit of a theme in my list, and that's gonna be more small scale, not like big stories and whatever else. And so what I chose for this one was just people doing their best to be faithful witnesses in trying times. You know, just again, man, trying to find the beauty in just life, man, and just being alive and stuff. And so at the beginning of the year, you and I and Anastacia as well were involved in a cohort through Good Culture Institute, and just honestly, man, hearing some of the stories of those folks in the first few months of the year have really kind of at times propelled me forward into continuing to believe in the local church, in the beauty and responsibility of Christians to be in relationship and community with one another. And just like I said, just hearing the stories and testimonies of people, not just in that cohort, but within my local church and just other different friend groups and relationships that I have, of people trying to find ways to be faithful witnesses, whatever that looks like. We talked, I don't think the podcast ended up working out, but we talked a couple weeks ago about during the government shutdown, just different churches and organizations rising up to meet the needs of people who were struggling to pay their bills or even find food. And just little stories like that, to me, it's just like, hey, man, there's still hope, right? Like, we don't have to just say, oh, let it all burn down and start over, as I've heard some people advocate for at different times. But like, we still, as individuals and collectively as Christ followers, have this responsibility to do the best we can each day to be a faithful witness of what it means to follow Jesus and to love others well. And I've seen and heard countless stories. They don't get published or necessarily blown up, but I've seen people out here trying to do that. And it looks different in different contexts, but and sometimes maybe they don't do it as well as we might wish they would, but I believe that their intentions and desires are to be a faithful witness and to love others well. And so just the fact that desire exists within people gives me hope that we can still get this thing figured out and continue to cultivate goodness.
come on, it's big.
That's excellent. Real quick, how has it impacted your own theology and praxis?
What's that? Just what I'm talking about?
Just being faithful in trying times and watching people, but also your own personal life.
Yeah. I think, and this is gonna sound probably cliche, so I don't care because it's true. Is we talk a lot when you're growing up in high school and even college. Everyone will say, "Hey, go change the world, change the world." And even as a youth pastor, I felt like I was hyping up my students and encouraging them and telling them, go change the world. And my perspective of what that means has started to change. And I think to believe that all of us have the capacity, maybe not the capacity, but will have the opportunity to change the world in a way that will be memorialized throughout history, that everybody's going to know our names, I think is a little bit naive. But I think that all of us can live and conduct ourselves in a way that somebody's going to remember our name as, man, that interaction or relationship with that individual was a turning point in my life, or the way that that person showed up at my hour of need. I will never forget that. And it's going to motivate and really, really a faster way of saying this is I read a book a couple years ago, and what I walked away from that is everything is formative, right? Every interaction, every experience we have is going to shape who we will become and how we're going to view the world. And so seeing people try to be faithful witnesses, even in trying times, one, inspires and encourages me. And then two, like I said, it gives me hope, because sometimes the way that they're trying to be a faithful witness does not align with my understanding of scripture. And I could say, hey man, I don't think that's a very faithful witness at all, but be able to dig a little bit deeper below the surface and understand that their intentions and desires, maybe they weren't taught the proper ways or whatever, but that their desire is still to honor Christ with their actions and to be a faithful witness of what it means to follow him.
Amen, bro. Thank you. Good culture. That's good culture. That's a good culture. All right. Are the claps corny? Is that corny?
Yeah,
corny
for sure. 100% yes.
All
I'm
right,
glad
cool.
you caught it.
All right.
Listen.
I was like, I'm gonna try it one more time.
Hesitate no
Self-reflection.
more.
We love that for you.
I said I'm gonna try it
That's
one more
good.
time.
Oh gosh.
And then if it don't feel right,
Yeah.
But you asked. If
We're
you
gonna
had to
pivot.
ask, you probably knew it was time to pull it.
no. Maybe I was gonna ask because I
As
was
a
like, maybe
preliminary.
yeah, because maybe it was like, no. I need to give more effort.
Ah, gotcha,
okay,
gotcha,
then
gotcha,
let's give more effort.
Dial it
Gotcha.
back. No,
Gotcha.
100%.
We're gonna cut that. All right,
gonna
not cut it out because this is a learning lesson. We're
It
gonna
is.
cut it
It's
from
good.
this particular.
It's good. It's
No
good.
more clapping. Darryl, what's good
Yeah,
culture?
good culture. So I'm going to combine this with what might seem like bad first, but what I think is good that's happening.
It's very Darrell-esque.
It is. I know. I got to deal
The
with
Mary
both.
and the
That's
Melancholy.
That's right. Come on now. Listen. So I think that
Just answer the question.
in eternity past. No. So I think that we all, obviously none of us are strangers to the issues that have been happening since 2025. We've kind of hinted at it. I think that it could be extremely frustrating when you see some of the scenarios that are playing out that people have warned would play out a certain kind of way. Those who pay attention to not only their faith, but how it connects to the corridors of power and what that does to the landlords and the landless. People have been trying to argue that. And when so many people, including people in the church, ignore it, you can get really frustrated. You can get in a place. I've been in a place, right? Even people who are well-meaning that oftentimes use their faith as a way to almost gospel gaslight the people who are being harmed. So for me, that's always been a frustration point. But what I love is that there are folks, both older generations and younger generations, who are doing a good attempt at marrying like that desire for justice with that what the gospel requires. And I see that even folks who may be kind of shaky in their faith, but you can see that the things that are frustrating them are things that we would agree frustrate God's heart too. So they're yearning for another way to engage. So I see a lot of younger folks, even in podcasts, trying to speak to some of these issues, even, whether clumsily or not, they're really trying to kind of speak into these. And for me, that makes my heart happy, because however God meets them, the same way he met us, he'll meet you right there and be able to affirm the issues that are frustrating. He could say, yeah, that frustrates my heart too. Yeah. And here are some ways that we can enter into it. So I'm seeing that a lot. Again, I'm seeing it in more of your, probably the most influential medium, right? A lot of the social media that lots of people watch and see. You're seeing, I got my kids, teenagers, who will see, Dad, I saw X, Y, and Z, and they'll send me a video that's really kind of getting them thinking about ways to love their neighbor well. So without it even having to necessarily be from someone explicitly Christian, but they're still communicating that same desire.
Yeah. That's good. That is good culture.
That's good culture. No clapping.
No.
Is it on me or Tryce? Who's
It's
next?
you.
All right. So earlier this year in January, I was able to go down to Savannah and visit the location where Special Order 15 was signed, which is known as 40 Acres and a Mule. It was the 160-year anniversary of the 160-year anniversary of the signing of this declaration. And I was invited by a brother named Jeffrey Golden. And Jeffrey Golden, for you guys who don't know, is a gospel singer who won Sunday's Best, but he is also a dynamic thinker and theologian. To kind of speed this up, he is starting a initiative and a project called Vision 2065. It's somewhat of a gospel-centered, if you will, vision that is borrowed from kind of Charles Blow's South to Power documentary, where the argument is that the Great Migration actually hurt Black people because we lost political power. We were we had a dense population in one local area, but because of we're now disparate, and this kind of disintegration of not only solidarity and sociology and life, but political power. So he's been galvanizing leaders and thinkers for a 40-year project that gets folks to move back to a particular location to gain back political power and just to build solidarity and community. And what does it look like to build intentional cities and towns and I guess you can say community around ethics and values? And I think he's a sharp dude. Whether or not the project is successful or not, I just believe in people who think deeply about stuff like this and are doing it for the purposes not to exclude folks, but to build communities that I think are built on ethics and thriving and flourishing. And so I'm just excited about that kind of movement. I've seen other movements like this happen. I won't say where because I don't know too much about like the impetus behind them, but I've seen other movements, not only like small communities like this in Atlanta being built, other communities in Georgia. So people are doing this kind of work. There's this fascinating story about Floyd McKissick, who tried to start a city in North Carolina called Soul City. So there are movements like this, and you're always concerned about humans becoming humans and doing human things, because you can't avoid evil. But I do think the impetus and the idea is good. So I just believe in this as an idea of good culture.
That's good culture.
Yeah, good culture.
That's good.
Yep.
And if you want to learn more about what Charles Blow has to say about like reverse migration, great book, The Devil You Know.
The Devil You Know.
Yes.
Yep. All right, so Tryce, close us out with this good culture.
It's me. Yeah, what I think is good culture is actually something that's coming out of an example of what is probably bad culture, but I'm choosing to see it as a potential opportunity for good culture. And that is
All right, Darryl Jr.
as a void in transcendent leadership on a global, national, and local level. So whenever I think about transcendent leadership, I think about leaders that are able to transcend political categories, social categories, geopolitical categories, and reach the other side. I think Barack Obama is a really good example of someone who is able, I think, to reach and transcend categories and boundaries in a really profound way. On the global scale, I think the current conflict and war between both Russia and Ukraine and Israel and Palestine has given opportunities for new leaders and new voices to emerge. I think on a national scale, the void in leadership, particularly in the two-party system that we have, both Republican and Democrat, I think there's a void in leadership that transcends on both sides, which means that both 2026 and 2028 will be, I think, opportunities for leaders of a new era, new generation, whether it be ideologically or generationally, to emerge. And I think at the local level, there seems to be a changing of the guard of leadership in our cities, but then in our institutions. Whenever I think about religious institutions are changing, are adapting, the church is changing and adapting. New leaders are getting voices. I think, Darrell, to speak to your point about just the mediums of leadership, the rise of social media and the digital age. Now, what I hope is not that there's a splintering generationally. I hope that there's, I think, a recognition of the wisdom that comes with age and experience, but also I hope, on the reverse, there's a recognition of new ideas and energy that also comes from younger generations. So I see this kind of void of transcendent leadership as an opportunity, one that I'm excited about, and that I hope that folks, though it might be despairing and discouraging to see our current leaders really fail in a lot of ways, I see it as an opportunity for new leaders to speak up and speak new life into the current context.
I concur. And I think I'll add to that. I think with the, to use your words, like failure of maybe like past or current leaders, I think there's also an opportunity to model like a different way to lead, which is like collective, right? So this
Yeah.
idea of like messianic leadership, right? Like this one exceptional person that's kind of rise, like even the Barack Obama, right? Like what I think is more compelling and would be more effective long term is shared power, right? So it's not just a Barack Obama, and like not just like in the back of in the background, right? But there's a group of people, or a pair of people, or a collective of people that are emerging as like transcendent leaderships of our cities, of our churches, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm hopeful to see that, so that in the event that one person decides to fall, or maybe something happens to them, the whole movement
Right.
doesn't dissipate with them, right? So not just a void of people, but a void of a different type of strategy, a different type of approach to leadership is what I'm hopeful to see. Just to add to
She
that.
just said she wants an oligarchy.
That's
I hear
it.
you.
No. And actually, my book is Fight Oligarchy, and we'll talk about that by Bernie Sanders. So we'll circle back.
Yeah.
I am against oligarchy. Let's be clear.
I am
since
I'm in
you're-
agreement with you of
since you're
moving
leading us-
beyond these kind of Moses-like figures that
Yes.
we have to wait on for our movements to move and for society to change. I think that is a thing that I am noticing about my generation, Gen Z, is we're not waiting for Moses to lead us out. We're going to, I think, organize around our communities and move as a group, as opposed to waiting for somebody to open those doors. So I'm in agreement with that.
This is good culture.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you just shared what you're against. Tell us about this bad culture you're against there, Anastacia.
Oh, okay. I'm against neocolonialism
come on,
in
somebody.
Africa, in the Caribbean, and in Latin America, or like neocolonialism. You know what I mean? So whether it's the American president, killing fishermen for whatever reason, I think it's oil, because Venezuela sits on like the largest oil deposit on the planet, or whether it's this like extractive deal that was just signed by all these leaders in different African nations, or even the extractive deal that was signed with Ukraine for their minerals, right? And so neocolonialism that is masked as something that's benevolent, that also emerges from like this American first mindset,
Yeah.
is bad for the planet, and I am therefore against it.
Bad culture, ladies.
Yeah.
It's just bad. It's just bad culture.
Period.
Darryl.
Man, it's hard to top that, because I feel, not to top it, but I feel like everything I'm going to say is going to kind of fall in line with
No,
it.
this is a competition.
Oh, well, she wins. I give up. This has almost become, again, almost trite because it's said so often. And I wish we could highlight some very specific examples of it. But I do think that I still am going to put up white Christian nationalism as something that is incredibly bad culture.
I just think you have to say it over and over.
You do.
Fine.
And what's hard about it is I think that people hear it and they can't all agree on what it is. And so it's important for people to be able to know and be able to say, man, is my faith, like, is it baptized in either red, white, and blue Jesus or just white Jesus or black, whatever it is. Yeah. But I definitely think amongst white Christian nationalism, I think that it is really kind of weaponized some language of Jesus.
Absolutely.
While excising the heart of Jesus. But
Yeah.
it gives people justification to do things. So what people think is normal is wrapped in more white Christian nationalism. But having that conversation now is you're almost anathematized when you do it, because now there's
I
this.
can just. You're what?
Anathematized. Like anathema?
Okay.
I don't know
All
what that
right,
word is.
that's yeah. So now the line in the sand has been drawn,
Okay.
and you're in the outs. And I think
Where's Richard Johnson?
it makes
translate?
it makes it difficult, and it does. Even from a pastoral standpoint, there becomes almost a pecking order. And if you're that pastor who mentioned, when I was pastoring, I'll never forget. We when we were talking about one of the issues that's hitting, and we just happened to be in a text that then speaks to some of the things that are happening. And I'll never forget when I realized that this is taking a different turn, because I forget what it was we were preaching on, something that had just been passed that was going to affect a lot of folks. Start to mention it, and next thing you know, I'm on a list of pastors that was put up by Breitbart. And Richard Bannon and friends, they whatever his name, Steve Bannon and friends, put a bunch of different pastors who had mentioned any issue of justice facing any specific group, and all of a sudden, lists of names coming in, and mine is one of them. And then the emails we would get, the messages we would get, the threats that we get. People are putting my address in messages because they're like, "You're getting away from what the good, the Christ-centered heart of this American founding is." And the way that they genuinely, sincerely believe that their view is rooted in Jesus and in the heart of Jesus, they can't hear anything else. Wow. And I do think it's because of sometimes either certain churches explicitly saying it, or in more cases, churches who are complicit and say nothing about it. And just say, we're just going to focus on good relationship with Jesus, y'all. And it's like, yeah, but you need to be pointing out all the bad cosplay versions of the people who claim to be walking with Jesus. So
that's good.
That is good.
Good culture PSA. Patriotism is not a fruit of the spirit.
Come on. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
Back to your regular scheduled program. Ian, what's bad culture?
Yeah. So I think I'm actually going to really kind of follow right behind what Darryl was just saying. For me, and this is a common theme, and I probably will not stop banging this drum anytime soon. But the idea of dehumanization and objectification of people, especially within the church, but just in general, man, like the majority of political discourse that I see from Christians and non-Christians alike is the objectification of someone down to one political ideology or opinion that they hold. And now, therefore, I don't have to think about anything you say because your entire value in my mind is summed up in that one opinion that you hold, or that one position that you've taken. And we don't necessarily think of that as objectification in the same way that we do in some of these other areas, but that's absolutely is what it is. It is taking someone who bears the image of God and boiling them down to a single characteristic or trait or attribute, right? And then what naturally follows from that objectification is dehumanization. It is, I don't even have to treat you humanely because you are this. And because you fall into this category, or I've placed you into this bucket, I don't have to care about how the way that you're being treated affects you or anyone else. And then what happens is, and really, Darryl, again, it really aligns with what you just shared, is you see people who I believe, when I have conversations with them, truly do, at least in their understanding, love Jesus, but then they're advocating for policies or actions that are absolutely dehumanizing and or objectifying other fellow image bearers. And it's bad, man. It's bad. And I think it has become either it's become more rampant in the last 5-10 years, or I've just started paying more attention, or maybe both. But
That's a good song.
I've
called Maybe
noticed it
Both.
a lot this year, and it sucks. You said what? I didn't hear you.
Don't worry about him.
I said it's a good song called Maybe Both. You've probably listened to it.
Yeah.
Anastacia doesn't get that joke because she's never listened to my music outside of this last song.
We haven't known each other that long, so it's been like 2 years.
Has it only been 2? I thought it's been more than 2 years.
Fair.
Okay, maybe 3.
Okay.
It ain't been longer than 3.
But if you had a book, I would have read it though.
And I will.
Oh, she ain't read the book yet?
We're not
It's
gonna
on
move on. We're gonna move
Spotify
on.
for
We're
free,
gonna
bro.
move on. I think I sent her the audio version. I sent her a PDF. I paid her $300. I said, please.
Hey,
That
please
is
read
not
it.
true.
Please read it. Please read it.
Okay.
But anyway, thank you.
Everything else is true, but that.
That's bad culture. Bad culture.
Bad.
Boo.
Bad. Boo this man.
I hear it all the time. It exudes through you. Yes.
Exudes.
I want to talk about bad culture. I want to talk about tech billionaires.
Oh,
I want to talk about the new eugenics movement.
no.
And although this is not necessarily inherently bad, I want to talk about AI as well, because I do think it has elements of bad culture. I think our world is so fascinated with progress and production that we're becoming machines, and I don't think that's healthy. I think we're giving our souls over to the God of Mammon in order that we can produce. And I think we're going to realize years from now we made a bad exchange. But also, I think we got to be mindful that we think we're getting something good from these tech billionaires because they make our lives convenient. But there's always a sleight of hand. There's always a subterfuge. And I'm so concerned by the conveniences that they offer that are going to violate our theology of body, our theology of soul. And if they're not trying to make us into machines, they're trying to create a superior race. I think about Peter Thiel running around the world doing lectures about the Antichrist, all the while sounding very much like the Antichrist.
Yes.
But then I also think about him supporting different startups that are like gene manipulating. Yeah. And so people are able to pick certain, and that to me is playing fast and loose with God in a lot of ways. Yeah. And granted, is tech good? Yes. Are we provided certain luxuries that I think are helpful for us? Absolutely. But do I think we oftentimes overlook the dangerous in order for us to be codified in convenience? Absolutely. And I do think we're, in our attempt to get more leisure, I think we're going to give up our soul. And so I'm just very concerned about AI. I'm very concerned about tech. And I'm definitely concerned about these billionaires, these feudal lords who make decisions for us. And we're cool with it as long as we get our little, we serve on their their land, as long as we can get some trinkets. And to me, that's bad culture. Boo! Something's gonna stick.
I'd like to respond. I think there's a lot of folks who agree with you that don't think AI or like the pace at which we are like advancing as a human race technologically is good culture. I don't know that. I think I think a lot of those people don't know how to divest though. It's like, if absolutely. I don't want to participate in this, I actually think this is bad. I agree with you, but it is so like ingrained in all of like quickly. And like no one was like, yeah, I agree to this. Like collectively, it's the tech billionaires, etc., policymakers that like have decided for us that this is what life looks like. And I have had so many conversations with folks that are like, yo, like I don't want to be so like enmeshed in this, but I think the cost to divest is like far greater than I think what a lot of people are willing to like pay,
without question,
or know how to pay.
And further, I mean, honestly, if you're in the workplace, in order to remain competitive, you have to stay enmeshed. In order to divest, there's a degree to which you are no longer able to work at the same clip as the person that you're working with or for. Yeah. So now your productivity gets judged by how adept you are, how fluent you are in these new technological advancements. Yeah. So it's like the evolution of the mind and the brain is changing because of it. And to your point, because it's so ubiquitous, there is no escaping it now. Yeah. It's like the business that's just too successful to fail, right? Yeah. That's kind of where it is. We're kind of stuck with it now.
I have some flagrant takes on that. I don't want to spend too much time, but I do think we should do an episode around this.
That's good.
I think part of the problem is this mindset, honestly. Yeah. Is that it's too big to fail, or we can't escape it. I think we can. I think we can divest in ways. I think some of the fear of removing ourselves from the ubiquitousness or the ubiquity of tech is threatening to my bottom line, and I get that.
I think
But I
so,
also
yeah,
think
for
that
sure.
fear is informed by mammon.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying we should be ignorant, but I do think there are some risks and there's some sacrifices we're going to have to make, as Jesus often tells us that there are sacrifices we have to make. And to even go like on a social angle, I think some of this we'll find out years from now that we thought we were going to trade in certain luxury or certain things for greater luxuries. For instance, like the Industrial Revolution, when people thought that they were going to give up their agrarian pace for something more, beneficial, comes out. Now they having to work even more hours in factories.
Deeper enslaved.
Yeah.
And
want
so,
more.
and I think in a lot of ways, artificial intelligence there's been some research, and I can't pull off the top of my head, that especially for those people who are marginalized, we think about the literacy gap.
Yeah.
And it's just going to expand.
It will.
It's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
make. It's
100%.
just, and it concerns me.
Yeah.
That's one small.
Right. That's
I
a big
guess
one. though.
evidence of.
I concur. What I'm saying is, I think that there needs to be someone, or maybe someone
I'm leading the
better,
revolution.
or maybe someone better to like.
I'll be Ralph Abernathy. Hey, I'm just looking for King. Where King at? I'll be behind you, player.
No,
I'll
but
be behind.
to provide some strategy, right? Like mentioning King, right? That there's 6 principles of
Right.
Kingian nonviolence. There's 6 steps for
Right.
nonviolent direct action, right? Like they're like very specific things that people learned to do to engage this like enemy.
Yeah.
And I think we can't succumb to fear. But what folks who agree with you need is strategy, and that hasn't been released.
And that's you. You're the strategy person.
And
Okay.
I would just add, like,
I'm just out here yelling.
yeah.
Stop it! You better stop that. And she's like, "Hey, show you gotta give him some strategy."
I also
Yeah, she said-
think that.
They need someone
ahead.
better than you to lead them. Is what. It
Yeah,
is.
she said someone better than you.
I accept it.
I think there's also a point that everything that we're saying, the problems, the potential problems, the very real problems, I don't think anybody disagrees. Nobody here at the table.
No. Okay.
No.
I was gonna say at the table, maybe
There are
not.
lots of people that disagree with that. Yes. But what I'm saying
And
is,
I'm saying Christians too.
yeah, no, for sure, Christians. I think that also, in order to talk about this and to come up with strategy, we have to think about the other factors that make people feel that fear, succumb to that fear.
Absolutely.
Affordability.
Absolutely.
You can't have this conversation without talking about economics. You can't have this conversation without talking about the means of production. So to your point with the Industrial Revolution, yes, everybody thought, I'm going to have more discretionary time. I'm going to have some more discretionary income. I'll be able to enjoy my family. And for a little while that worked. What happened is the affordability gap kept expanding, but wages didn't move with it. So now you're feeling like you got to work all the extra hours. And I think the question is going to be, what are people going to feel pressured into having to do? You said, you're right, the bottom line, mammon, but just being able to survive. I mean, the gap has been expanding at an exponential rate, and I think AI only hastens that in many ways. So we got to have a good economic discussion, too, around all the factors that make people feel desperate enough to have to do that.
Excellent. Tryce.
Yeah.
Close us out for the bad culture.
The bad culture is a decline in what Dr. King called the network of mutuality. He says in Letter from Birmingham Jail, we are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. Anyone who lives inside the United States can never be considered an outsider anywhere within its bounds. I think that there is an increasing sense that we are not tied together. We are not living within a network of mutuality. And the differences that define us literally define how we live and how, as Ian said, how we see our neighbors or who we even consider a neighbor. And so I am very, very frightened by that declining sense of mutuality that I see. And I think we see it across the board, across those institutions that I mentioned earlier. We see it in religion. We see it on kind of racial spectrum. We see it in a class spectrum. We see it in a lot of different ways. And I think that is bad culture. And what I am really longing for, and I think what a lot of folks are longing for, are individuals that operate from the premise that, one, we are all created in the image of God, and therefore that demands a certain level, a certain ethic.
Yep.
From the start, that demands an ethic of interaction between us, but also that we are more similar than we are different.
Yep.
You know, we can take religion out of this and think from just a civil ethic as well, that we are more similar than we are different, and therefore that demands a certain ethic. And I long for us to get to a place where we operate out of that ethic of being within a network of mutuality that Dr. King talked about. And so it's bad culture that's declining and decaying.
Excellent.
That's worthy of a whole roundtable discussion. I'd love one day.
Individualism is a problem for sure.
Yeah, which is just the sin nature of man if we go back far enough. So I'd love for us to kind of sit and roundtable that for sure.
Yeah.
This is good culture.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're about to have a really good conversation. Some of us are hip-hop heads like Anastacia, and some of us are novices like Tryce, who know nothing about hip-hop. But we're bringing in a brother who is going to introduce us to some artists that we probably have not heard of. His name is Ronaldo. He is a light-skinned intellectual and the content creator of Medial. I connected with him because he is obsessed with me and my music, and I said, bro, calm down. But one way that you can help me is by coming on the Good Culture Show and let's talk about some good music and introduce me to some dope artists. And so here he is, brother Ronaldo of Medial Content. Bro, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. My son is distracted. I'm caffeinated, and I look like I work at a Reebok, or Foot Locker. All right.
And it sounds like you're in the closet of the Foot Locker. And we're going to use this lunch break to talk about music. I'm excited about that. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and then we'll move into what we're going to be talking about.
For sure. My name is Ronaldo. I run all the content on Medial Point on Instagram. I'm a loving father of two, and this is kind of a side hobby where I essentially seek to platform artists that are part of the CHH, the Christian rap subgenre, that maybe don't get a lot of attention. Maybe their sound is too weird, or they're approaching the topic of the gospel in a really interesting and innovative way. And because it doesn't work on a 10-second Instagram reel or TikTok video, people kind of just go over it. So it's like my goal to find the auteurs of Christian rap and give them a platform.
The auteurs of
Can you spell auteur for me?
Yes.
Facts. I would be the one to ask.
A-U-T-E-U-R.
I'm taking that word, auteur.
Now
Can
use
you
it in a
define it
sentence,
and use it in a sentence, please, Ronaldo?
He used it a couple times, so you know he knows how to spell it.
Some filmmakers are considered auteurs for their singular voice.
Come on. And that's what you call a light-skinned intellectual.
Let's go.
Come on.
He definitely got a little young Du Bois in him right here. You know what I'm saying?
It's giving for sure.
All right. So tell us a little bit about what we're about to do today. Tell us about the, I guess you can say about the first artist as well.
Okay, this looks like Christopher Syncere. Syncere is spelled with a Y instead of an I, because he's an artist. I'm kidding. No, Christopher Syncere, he's kind of been around for a good little minute. He was part of a group and all that stuff. And I think at first look, you look at him rocking the ties and the denim jackets with the Kango hat, you might think he's a little hipster guy. But this album right here really kind of solidified that this man might be what I think, sincerely, in a more mainstream context, might be the future of CHH. This is from an album called This Used to Be Fun. Of course, the cover art is a little bit ironic because you get into it, it looks like Up, right? But you start digging into the album, and though it has these really colorful sonic explosions of sound, he's getting into some really heavy stuff, as you'll probably hear with this song, I Wanna Be. At one point, he has a line. It's kind of, the big epic intro of the album. But he has a line that he slips in there where he casually talks about his estranged father and how he sees him for the first time in a long time at an airport. And he's like, hey, Dad, here's the woman I just married. And then his dad is pretty much just like, oh, good job, young blood. Keep it going. And then he just walks off. It's a really intense song, but it's really cool. And he's really in pocket with the verses.
Welcome, stranger.
Me and my dogs on Tommy. Me and my dogs be clocking in and be taking everything with violence. Really wanna be like Jesus, gotta flip a table when they out of wallet. You can pay to keep it quiet. I should have been dead and gone, but the one on the throne give me life, so I walk in alignment. I never fit and I don't go to parties. All of my angels was covered in armor. All of my armor was dead out of trauma. Jesus was bottom, so I can't be caught up. And I was like, politicking for a profit, money hungry prophets prowling. I've been watching what he's stalking. I'm gonna step on the neck of the devil and free the slaves about the bondage. My mama cried, I was watching. Ran into my father at the airport. He met my wife and kept it walking. Daddy was just creeping up and haunting. I've been watching all my heroes falling. Holy Spirit, come and breathe on us, Father. I need your grace, I need more. I keep falling. Bring on your harvest. I need you honest. So Lord, recently I've been thinking like, take a look at Pontius Pilate. Pushing perfection and death because of peer pressure. I look at my wallet and question if I get a taste of the flame. Would I do the same for my pockets?
Well, one, I wanted to highlight one of the lyrics from that song. I think it really, it's really tapped into what I think his generation, which I guess is still mine. He seems like he's about 25. He has a line in the first verse, towards the end of the first verse. He says, all of my angels is covered in armor. All of my armor was decked out in trauma. So it's this really, I think it's a brilliantly articulated piece of tension with what our current younger generation of Christians is coming up, and they're battling anxiety and all of these really complex situations with their mental health. But also there's this gentle ascension towards gospel truth. My mind is renewed. There's a God that I can call upon who actually sees me. And so I think this song right here is a great way to open up this album that's going to get into all these crazy topics about mental health and trauma and not feeling man enough. But I think this, along with some of the other songs, it articulates a standard of, I want to be something better than what I am. And I think it's just done in a really cool way from a really stylish person that's cooler than me, which makes me frustrated, but you know.
Well, I love the movement. I love the movement of the song because I don't get bored at all. He changes not only inflection, he changes style, he changes delivery. The music changes. He complements it as it changes. I'm not to say that he is influenced by Ari, but I hear like a little swoop. I hear obviously some Kanye there.
Yeah.
I heard some Ab Soul as well, and just the voice.
Yeah. Hits as high as the way Kendrick does.
Yeah, Ab Soul definitely. I think Kendrick stole that from Ab Soul actually. So you know,
Yeah. No doubt.
that was a good call right there, Ab Soul. Ian, what you think?
What he said.
Ian's probably the most tapped into CHH out of all of us, so I expect you to have some takes, man.
Nah, man. Listen, I can't talk about none of the technical stuff. I liked it. That's what I'll tell you.
I think that's a good answer.
So, Anastacia, you are probably, admittedly, the individual who is least tapped in.
100% least.
Not only CHH, but just hip hop in general.
Yes.
Is this now? You don't have to like it, but like on first listen, what are your thoughts?
It's a bop.
Okay.
It's a bop. I'd have to listen to it a few times to hear the words,
Yeah.
for sure. But it was definitely a vibe. That's what it made me do. And I appreciate that because I don't want to be bored either.
Gave me the auntie shoulders.
And proud of it. But yeah, I would like introduce it to some young people as like options for them for sure.
So Anastacia, you'll tell the kids about
The
the
kids
music,
for sure.
huh?
Yeah, the Gen Alphas and the Gen Betas, 100%. Yes.
All right, so we have an alpha, not an alpha. What are you?
Gen Z.
We have Gen Z behind the cameras. Gen Z behind the cameras. What are your thoughts? Okay, she said it was cool. She liked it. All right, Ronaldo, any last thoughts on this song before we move on to the next?
His style game is really nice. Like, check him. It's not super eccentric, but he comes through with the fits. He was rocking the Doc Martens before it was cool, so he's also like a really stylish dude too.
All right, so hold up. Doc Martens were cool back when we were
For
like
real.
youth.
That's going way back.
Quite a long
going
time.
way back.
Doc
What's
Martens
happening
before
right
they
now?
were reintroduced as
Deeply offended by that
For real.
statement.
I'm like, are we really that old right now?
You guys are for sure.
Man.
But I'm a historian, so I know.
I do research. That's how I know.
Okay, so Isaac Quazzo, I actually don't know. We've had very brief dialogue. It's kind of cool because I'm sort of building a community of like alternative Christian rappers. So his album got recommended to me on Spotify. So then I texted another rapper that I know, and I was like, hey, do you know this dude? And he was like, yeah, I actually just met him a week or two ago. And I was like, okay, cool. So then I was about to go on Instagram to DM Isaac Quazzo, and before I could do that, Isaac Quazzo had already sent me his album saying, "Hey, I have friends that I just made who said that your platform would like my type of music," and it was the same guy I was texting. So, I just because life has been crazy, single dad. I haven't been able to like deep dive, but I've been absolutely enthralled with his album Eternal Unseen. One, I could just go on and on about the sounds like my son is about to walk up on the door. We'll see. I could go on and on about like just the instrumentation and the production. My favorite rap albums are the rap albums where you can take all the vocals off and just listen to the album instrumentally. And so all the instrumentals sound like these weird, jazzy, abstract, prog jazz type instrumentals. I've never really actually heard something like this in CHH. It's kind of rare. And then also the album, it sounds like the soundtrack to some type of noir teen thriller, and Isaac is rapping like he's a character from that movie, and I just want to sit in the world of that movie and watch stuff crazy stuff just go down. And yeah, I think Isaac Quazzo, perspectively, like with his I didn't come out right. With his perspective, he's kind of rapping from the perspective of this guy who's sort of at the crossroads between the calling that he feels like God is giving him and then also his shortcomings. And I think he raps about that in a very interesting way. And then his gravelly sort of skater boy type voice, I think sells the album entirely. It's a beautiful, cohesive dagger of sorts just with the music.
All right, let's get into it.
Look, I'm waiting for mushroom clouds, firing and ducking rounds. Thought it was coming soon, they trying to dumb us down. Teaching us how to fear, no fear when love abounds. Gotta get out of here, no tears in other towns. All of a sudden my whole life is a funnel. I can't even see my hands, where's the light in the tunnel? Now it's hard to see the sky when you're lying in rubble. Can you just tell us how it is, why you trying to be subtle? We're tired of the struggle, but we're not being humble. Got a Glock in my hand, got extra socks in my duffel. Let me keep it a buck, they got a piece of the puzzle. Now they're saying as they please while they're keeping us muzzled. I run the race with endurance, I'm sick of craving assurance. I gotta work on my brain cause it's a daily occurrence. I started feeling guilty, almost hate when I flourish. While the world is at war, I still gotta pay my insurance. I'm stuck in the current, I pray fervently. It's not a deterrent, you hate hurting me. I crave certainty, safe for eternity. Waiting for the day that my blood
I love
stays
his voice,
burning.
man. I love his voice.
Right?
He got me in a Ghetto Boys kind of mood.
That's exactly what I thought. Man, that's wild. But it's the storytelling for me. That the way that his voice is, it definitely opened up like a Ghetto Boy song to me, though.
Yeah. Where is he from?
Ooh, yep. I knew this question was coming up. I don't know.
That's fine. Well, I thought you were about to say something. Yeah, I love so I hear the jazz, because when it first popped off, I was thinking it was giving me, I don't want to say MF Doom, but it kind of gave me, not the rapping, well, somewhat, almost, but like the musical, the tonality of it.
Right.
Almost like that that lo-fi kind of low vibration vibe, but the clarity of the lyrics, the cadence, mixed with a little Ghetto Boys. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right.
I think he's British.
You think he's British?
Yeah, it looks like him.
Is this man from the islands?
Well, he's
not from the islands, but from the.
If you're looking at the photos, I think you're looking at.
Well, I mean, he could be from the British Islands.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's the same one.
Google says he's at least half British.
Yeah, he's 27, English American rapper.
I didn't hear an accent. And usually when British rappers rap, I can kind of hear.
Sometimes it's one or the other. Sometimes the British singers or rappers, singers for sure, like they just sound just like American when they sing. Yeah. But yeah, no, I've seen that. But yeah, it looks like he family's from U.S., but he lived in England with his family.
Oh, so that means
so
he got that.
He studied the Bible in York, England, and began composing his own music at the age of 14.
Oh, 14. That brother was doing big things.
Yeah, he's doing it.
He's a proper lad.
He's a proper lad. Isn't it?
Proper. Quite proper.
Isn't it?
He actually reminds me. I grew up with
Bloody
a
good.
CHH artist who's since changed his name. He used to go by Levi Henson. Now he goes by Boy March. Sounds very similar to him. So I see the vision, Ronaldo. I see the vision.
Yes.
I like what I'm hearing.
Absolutely. That's crazy that like his name is Boy March. Oh my gosh. Okay. It all comes together. All right.
Let's talk,
Keep
Levi
moving
or Ronaldo.
The
Let's
light
talk.
skins unite. Look at that. The light skinned intellectuals unite.
This is Shay Uno. This is a guy, actually have an interview with him. Haven't put it out yet, but this is Shay Uno. I don't want to butcher where he's from because we had a dense conversation about that, and clearly I wasn't listening. But this is Shay Uno. So what's interesting about him, he is sort of a remnant of like the last. I feel like we're in a great era of Christian rap right now, obviously, but he was kind of like this last remaining remnant of like the era that had a really good run and then just kind of subsequently ended in around 2017. So, and if you look at like the first record he dropped, Invincible Summer, it was like all the mainstays from that era. It was like King's Dream Collision type stuff. So he had features from Dave James, Dre Murray, I want to say
Dre Murray? I think his name is Dre Murray.
Oh yeah. And then he just kind of disappeared, did some life, and then he just kind of showed back up. So this record right here, it's not as snappy and poppy as some of his other stuff. It's a little bit more slowed down. It's kind of what I would call tiny desk ready music, where I could easily see him behind the desk rapping most of this stuff. And again, this is not like necessarily game changing. Oh snap, he flipped the game upside down. But I think this is a really great slice of life album where he's just trying to work through these things that we all struggle with while doing so with a godly perspective. Also, that's like one of the most confident album covers I've seen in a really long time.
I concur.
Last thought.
Yeah, that's a show scarf right there. What you call that?
Yeah,
show?
it is.
That's a scarf that he's kind of silk scarf. He's styled into a mature ascot, but I love it. I'm here with him. So I'm familiar with him, and big ups to the people who disappear and come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Jesus.
Yeah. And I think this album is a really
He said like Jesus.
This
Like
will be
Jesus.
coming.
Case in point.
I don't know if he disappeared though.
To some.
But all right, let's get into this Shay Who Know.
Headlines what are drawn in the sand, but headlines touch the soul of a man, and I'm here trying hold on long as I can. As headlines from a song that keep playing to give me red Canadax pomade, beauty supply runs, mama's old pantyhose. We used to tie up with a bull bristle brush. Perfect mixture for picture, perfect spinners, 360 degrees. Older brother started spinning, so that's who I wanna be. My daily routine, that brush was like a part of me. Brush the size 45 degrees. Touch my hair, yo, pardon me. Brushing it backwards, practically obscene. Few barbers push me backwards, line up on lean like double cups, double stuff. How them haircuts started costing too much cream. So undergrad bought my first pair of A&Ds. My own clippers made me fresher as I wanna be. Look in the mirror to reflect my hard work. Like ripples and ponds, rays reflect what I'm worth. Until one day cut a Caesar, don't know what I'm observing. Follicles thinning out my crowns like the king's been usurped. I hear lines but are drawn in the sand.
Did you select this song because Darryl is on our?
That's what I thought too.
That I am
You're so much
follicularly
experience.
challenged. Follicularly challenged. I appreciate you for that. You know what I'm saying?
No, we all need our
Just
theme
because your
song.
hairline is robust. What is that? What is it?
I would.
Wow. You know what? Every time I feel like I get love, it's just because God gave me some extra forehead, and this is the joke that I get now. Wow.
Hey.
Story of my life.
You know, Gerard Sanders. Gerard Sanders. He has an album. His album is about like it's very mature. It's a very like grown man album. He's talking about raising daughters, raising kids, just a lot of the obstacles that grown people go through. I think about Fonte's album. We had a song about his waistline and just struggling with getting older. And there's something to me indelible about hip hop artists like taking basic things like this and making songs about it because it's real life. It's like these are the things people are insecure about.
Yeah.
So why did you pick this song? What was significant about this song?
I think this song actually stops short of. I have like a list. I haven't written it down. It's in my head. A list of maybe the greatest CHH rap songs ever written, and this song, I even told Shay this, came dangerously close to being on that list. Just because
Hold up. You told the man that it almost.
You almost made it, but you didn't. Can you imagine being at the pearly gates? You were so close. You were so
How
close.
many songs are on the list, Ronaldo?
But you worshiped on Saturday.
But your worship.
Okay, this is better. This is better.
Hold up.
Wait.
All right.
Your Sabbath rest was wrong.
There. Before we go to the next one, Ronaldo, how many Show Baraka songs are on that list?
Okay. So it's kind of a one per artist type situation.
Oh, okay.
There is one Show Baraka song on there. Yes.
Good disclaimer. Good disclaimer. Which one is
You want to know what it is?
Yeah, I do.
Chapter 2, Michael.
That's a deep cut.
I don't know if that's the best Show Baraka song ever, but it's all right. It's good.
All right. So go on. Keep telling us about how you shamed this man to his face.
Yep.
Hey, bro, you almost made the list. That's how.
Yeah. This is like to your point about like mature hip hop finding really interesting ways to talk about things that are mundane. Hairlines. How do you make an interesting, engaging song about growing a bald spot? Like, and the man did it. And also, we didn't get into the latter part of that verse or the latter part of the song, but he talks about how it's really like in the hook, like the hairline, it gets to his soul. In the latter part of the song, he's praying and asking God for perspective. And he actually gets perspective in that his mother developed cancer. And he actually paints this picture of him having to shave his mother's head. Really just like that's heartbreaking, but that's also beautiful. And I don't know, that's to me, that is quintessential hip hop. And the only reason he almost made the greatest is just because I'm just like, I don't know. You don't just rush upon like good art like that. You sit on it, you meditate on it, right? This is a Christian rap song that makes me want to call my barber up and tell him how much he needs Jesus so he can go into heaven and do my fade. I clearly need it right now. You know what I'm saying? So that's just brilliant. And
great question. What disciple is going to be lining us up? Will there be a barbershop in heaven?
Well, Peter was mean with a blade. I'm just saying.
Will we be lined up for all of eternity?
Yeah.
Well, Darryl has a good take.
I just say Peter was pretty mean with a blade. So if there's anybody that might be able to edge you up right, it might be Peter.
Yeah.
Petros for life.
Come on,
Petros
now.
for life.
Yeah. I'm sticking with that one. I'm going with Peter.
Peter gonna be lining us up. Okay, Ronaldo, where are we going next? I think the last one is it?
So I've actually gotten to know Isaiah Velez pretty well. He was when I started this whole platform, he was one of the first artists I just kind of happened upon. And it's kind of crazy. You look at his Spotify numbers, they might as well say 0. But one, he's like in this weird intersection where he's just like, oh yeah, I've actually, my dad owned a boxing ring that Andy Mineo used to have church at. There's even I can tell you later, but there's even a loose connection to you, Mr. Baraka, with Isaiah Velez. But I think good Lord, I think he's exactly what Christian rap needs. I think, again, he is the future of Christian rap, but in a totally different way from Christopher Syncere. As we're trying to round out this more mature sounding subgenre of a subgenre for Christian rap, I think he fits. He's like 29. He just had another kid. He's married. And I think his music specifically wrestles with that journey that a lot of people in this age demographic suffer with. Okay, I'm kind of realizing that my parents, maybe my church, they were good people, but they had failings. Now I'm trying to do better than them, but I don't feel good enough. Okay, God, where do you step in? But also because he was actually, he minored in philosophy in college, he has a larger scope for enjoying the process, enjoying the journey. So his music gets you excited about every aspect that this journey that God has us on provides. So he gets you excited to wrestle with the insecurities, the tension, your fears, all your jealousies. And then he's still pushing you to be greater and experience better, and walking, continuously learning to walk with God, re-walking with God. And then the man's like style spectrum. I heard my son. The man's style spectrum, he's like right between J. Cole and Earl Sweatshirt. So you'll get the super deep heady raps, but then he'll also go first person shooter on you. No questions, no questions asked. And also, if you get into his discography, the man is part of like 4 or 5 different rap groups, which that's a whole other story unto itself. The man is a monster, quite literally, and I'm terrified.
I just want to let you know, you're setting the bar real high right now. So
I'm ready.
you said
I'm ready.
You said Earl Sweatshirt and J. Cole.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So let's go.
Let's get into it.
To be innocent, just a mouth to feed. Never could imagine I'd amount to be what it is I'm bound to be. Tied to legacy, I try to count the seas. Pain that I encountered helped those sprout the trees. Marched around these walls so long, can't feel defeat. Shoot. Marched upon this sand so long, remaining strong. Living through a million wrongs, but God came to cross them off. The arc of my story is his glory, which makes every song a standing stone, the standard. If you could only understand it, man. Purpose only grows where it's planted. I think we take it for granted. The opportunity to choose is something needed to manage. But I seen pastors fumble bags till they damaged. And I see rappers claiming Jesus care much more about a moment than the message they handed. Some surface skin for the branding. Can't stomach sin, so they damn it. Wonder if walking around the wilderness is part of the plan. Choose to accept who I am in moments I frozen and ran. Moments I cheated and lied. I saw the pain in her eye. Rather be known for the whole story than just what you surmise.
Sound like Common.
That's what I was just about to say.
You sound like Common.
I was like, yo.
You sound just like Common.
Yes.
Yep.
Very common.
Very. The tone of his
Yes.
voice. Yeah. And even his cadence at times is very much like Common too. I wonder where he's from.
Common is
Chicago.
That's my
dude.
That's my dude right there.
Him and Lupe.
What was I gonna say? The visuals are compelling. I like the branding, so the visuals is good. I would probably need to listen to it again to pull out some of what he said. But yeah, I definitely heard towards the end a whole lot of Common, which can't go wrong with me.
I like his use of metaphor and his flipping some of seeds and sea, the word pictures that he's utilizing. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it was good. I did the homework and listened to all these in advance, and so hearing this a second time, I caught some stuff that I missed the first time. So,
Teacher's pet.
Okay, so
no, I'm talking to Ian.
That's why Ronaldo's here. I'm gonna let him talk about it. No, it's the I already forgot it, man. But when he's talking about walking around, can't feel defeat. I missed the wordplay the first time, and then I was like, oh, that's cool. Anyway. Keep going. Trying to keep going, Ronaldo.
Listen, I want to say this, not about the artist, but about you, Ronaldo. You know, listening to you talk about music made me realize that I think about a lot of things, but I consume music, but I don't think about music. Like, I feel it, I enjoy it. It's in the background of my life at all times, but I don't sit and listen and like really think about what was said in the same way that I do films, movies, sermons, et cetera, et cetera. So you've challenged me to like do that more, not solely hip hop, but other genres that I enjoy kind of at the emotional level. I don't take to the like intellectual place, in large part because I sometimes want to get away from that. But nevertheless, thank you. I appreciate your thoughtfulness and care, and like your love for the art form is just so evident, and it has really inspired me to take better care and like be more serious about not just like consuming music, but like enjoying it and engaging it in a more deep way. So thank you for that.
That's excellent.
That's dope.
Yeah. Ronaldo, bro, thank you so much for your time.
Good looking out, bro.
We appreciate you. Any last words before you jump off?
I think about this type of stuff in a certain way so that y'all don't have to. Oh, my man is
Life has
oozing on
time.
me.
That's all right. That's all right.
So cool. Like, think about it, maybe, but also it's cool to 1-2 step every now and then. So, like,
Yeah.
just keep jamming. And if you find something that's niche, if you see your man or your girl has 15 listeners on Spotify, but it's good, just share it.
This is true.
Will do.
That's real.
This is true. Bro, well, hopefully we'll see you next month with some new artists and new music.
Most definitely.
We dope.
I appreciate you for joining us, brother.
This is good culture.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just did our good culture, bad culture. You heard us have an interview with brother Ronaldo. Now we're going to talk about some of our favorite things in 2025. Our favorite albums, our favorite movie or TV shows, our favorite books. We're going to leave out person, okay, for the sake of time, because I didn't think of one. So here we go. Starting us off, Anastacia, favorite album.
The Sinner soundtrack, y'all, was so good. It's bluesy, it's jazzy, it's hip hop, it's storytelling. It's just a good time. Sinner soundtrack.
All right.
I gotta say, I
Okay.
feel like the Sinner soundtrack was good. I needed more Buddy. I needed more historic blues artists on that soundtrack. I appreciated the nod to the new folks. I just feel like there's an element of the blues that I ain't get from that soundtrack. It was a little bit too produced.
Did you
for
listen
me.
to the whole thing? Because they
I
had
listened to
like
the whole
some
thing.
of the songs was
I
on there
listened to the whole thing.
twice with the original and the person.
Right, and I think that actually did a disservice to me, in my opinion.
Okay.
Correct.
I actually like.
So we judging each other's choices. What I'm hearing is I feel attacked.
That's what I was gonna say. You know what? Let me shut up.
Gospel gaslighting? No, I'm just kidding.
Let me shut up. Darryl.
Man, I was going to mention Sinners.
You can still.
Yeah, I did.
And it could be the winner.
But no, so for me, the musician part of me, obviously that's a whole other part of my life, but the musician side of me loves it because I like the different genres that are kind of enmeshed together. Yeah. So to me, there's a bit, even in the soundtrack, there's a bit of kind of a cataloging of various cultural references or various cultural investments that Black folks have made. Yeah. So I'm listening to different styles that are being laid out that I love, I appreciate. So it took me a minute at first because I was like, man, like some of the blues stuff you don't normally get. You might get one song here or there. And then it led me to go look up a few other people that I had not really been familiar with. So I appreciated that.
It was almost like taking that one scene of where they're in the barn and putting it together in an album.
All the
And
griots.
so I understood. I understood that element. I was just selfish, and I would have loved to just let Buddy rock and give us.
Well,
give us
real
one
quick,
last,
if you ever get a chance to look up the song that the Vampires were singing, the Pick Poor Robin Clean.
Yeah.
The history behind that song is incredible. Like it made me go down a whole rabbit hole kind of looking through. I mean, they've thought through everything.
Which is also so. You know what? We'll save it to the sinners to the movie.
Yes, because I'm ready.
Go ahead. Who's next? Ian.
Yeah, it's me. I'm gonna do the obligatory Midnight of a Good Culture reference here. Good job. But
Still Got Faith is a bop. It's a bop.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it really isn't pandering, unless not intentionally, because it's a good record, man. It's a good album. It's good storytelling.
Thank you.
Lord knows it should have been good as long as it took to get to us. So great job.
It did take a while.
And then I also just want to shout. Propaganda had two. Propaganda's put like 8 albums out in the time it took you to make one. By the way,
album every week.
But Your Arms Are Too Short to Box with God was a really cool project that I really enjoyed from this year. And then I also want to shout out a guy from our cohort that I mentioned earlier. He goes by the name of Dre Jamal. He released an album called Epic. The reason I wanted to shout that out is I really think it's cool, man, to see, and even when we talk to Ronaldo too, like these guys who are grinding and making music, even if they don't have the listenership that it pays any bills, it probably is costing them money to produce this art.
Yep.
But they're doing it out of a sense of calling or passion or whatever else. And so the fact that I got to know Dre a little bit and hear some of the stories, hear firsthand some of the hard work and dreaming and stuff that went into that album, made that album a little bit more special to me personally.
Yeah, it is definitely a labor of love because you lose money making music if you're not
Yeah.
out here touring. If you're not,
That's
trying
why
to
we
sell
need the
merchandise.
vinyl. The vinyl.
This is true.
I
All
need
right,
it.
I'm moving
I
on.
need it.
He said,
I'm next, and I mean, if I'm not gonna say, I'm definitely my favorite artist.
Yep.
But I'm not going to say my album because I truly found two albums actually this year that I'm deeply in love with. One is Starline by Chance the Rapper. My first listen, I really wasn't crazy about it, and then the more I listened to it, I just fell in love. And it's specifically, No More Old Men is just to me. For what I didn't know, is a song that's based off a poem from a particular artist. I can't remember the name, but from Chicago, that laments all the deaths of the young men in Chicago, and then who's going to be the unks, the grandpas, 30, 40 years from now. And so our city will be lacking of old men. And just the story he kind of talks about all the men who were formative in his life, taking them to barbershops. And it's just I just love the ethnography of his album. It's just really strong.
Come on, ethnography.
Come on now, somebody. You should appreciate that. There's the ethnographer over there.
Indeed.
Also, just because I want to show the eclectic side of myself, not too eclectic, but I think this album came out in January or February of this year. It's Acts of Faith by Salt. And
I concur.
that album
is fantastic.
Pray For Me is like one of my favorite
Let me tell
songs
you.
of the year.
I concur.
Yeah, that album is amazing. And Cleo Soul does no wrong in my heart. So,
Agreed.
So
Not
yeah,
a bit.
Yep. Chance the Rapper Starline and The Negro Problems by y'all need to listen to that album. All right,
Jamila Woods is the artist on No More Old Men.
Yeah.
I believe is from Chicago.
Yeah.
All right, I'm next, and I'm going to go with the album that absolutely grabbed me and didn't let go, and that is Olivia Dean, The Art of Loving. Olivia Dean was someone that I was late to. I was so late.
Yeah.
My Spotify algorithm didn't put me on to Olivia Dean, even though she right there with the type of music that I listen to. Women are running R&B right now. None of my friends told me about her, and so I was upset. I'm not on TikTok, so I missed that. I heard that a lot of her songs are going crazy on TikTok, so maybe that's the reason. But I feel like her music marries substance, instrumentation, and what I would call the spirit of soul music in a way that few pop stars, in the way that she is, have been able to do for a long time. She's got a live album that she recorded like 4 years ago that I'm just like, yes. A lot of people have talked about like the death of the pop star since, your Whitneys of the 90s. And since really Beyonce came onto the scene, I feel like Olivia Dean is someone that really transcends pop, but is been able to cross over in ways that I've appreciated. And so that album, The Art of Loving by Olivia Dean, has really captured me the last couple of months.
Yeah, her album is amazing. Is she English?
She is English, but descended from Jamaican roots.
Yeah. The English, they taking over black art.
Yeah.
They taking over.
All of it.
All art.
Across the board.
Yeah.
Every medium.
And you know what? I'm not mad at it because black folk lazy. So yeah.
We gonna cue that. We gonna cue that because I got some
Africans are
responses.
taking over the NFL because once
We
again,
gonna cue it.
Negroes lazy. So y'all need to be challenged.
Taking over the NFL.
If I could we can scratch
Every
this.
other brother
I
who
think
tackles
that take
somebody
is
in the
bad
NFL
culture. I think that take is
That
bad culture.
take
But we
is
can talk about it
facts.
another day.
Every
It's
other-
bad culture.
Every other brother who gets tackled in an NFL, it's like that last name. I'm like, that's definitely Nigerian. I don't know how to say that.
Defense.
Have you seen that Key and Peele?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay, listen, guys. I don't know if we know what quickly means.
All right,
30 seconds. The thing, and then one reason why.
I love this. You're first. Let's go. Music.
Okay.
I mean, TV show.
Oh, dang it. Okay, I know it's on there.
TV and
I'm
film.
gonna go
TV and film.
Chief of War, which is on Apple TV. Stars Jason Momoa. It's about pre-colonial Hawaii. It's violence. It's love. It's sultry.
It's Jason
visually-
Momoa without a shirt.
I don't think that he's that sexy. So no, but the queen.
Interesting you
that's
use the
in
word
that
sexy.
Movie. The women in that movie are in that show.
40 and
excuse me,
slip.
are super fire. So
And now I got to stutter and show.
She was like, let me take a drink.
He's just so big. It's just big. It's just big.
Look at the
All right.
adjectives
But
we're
anyways,
using.
Chief of War, Apple TV.
All right, Darryl.
I'm torn between two. So this is gonna sound crazy, but I've actually really appreciated Welcome to Derry. I know it's gonna sound crazy to say. Yeah, I know. I used to not be able to
Scary.
either.
I don't even know what that is.
It's
about it.
It's like off of Ed, Stephen
Got
King.
you, Stephen
But the
King.
storytelling in it has been surprisingly refreshing. And this in first season is dealing with, it's combining everything. It's dealing with some of the racial tensions that are there and how fear feeds off of that. So there were some really deep human elements in that storyline, that storytelling that was really good. So
The blacks on Threads love it.
it's
So.
the blacks. We're using the ad now.
Yeah.
The blacks.
The blacks.
The blacks.
Okay.
Oh, so that's the new Black Twitter? Is the Blacks on Threads?
The blacks on Threads. Love it.
All right.
Okay.
Blacks on Threads.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have to check it out. Ian.
I like it, so I'm gonna check that out too.
Are we doing just TV right now? Or are we doing
One,
TV
just,
and
yeah,
movies?
just pick one. Or TV or film. TV or film.
Oh, I was gonna do that.
Okay, because I
supposed to be
haven't
together.
watched a whole TV show all year. Like, I watched
Or
Quarterback
film.
on Netflix, but I just fast forwarded to the Jared Goff parts. Anyway, mine is kind of weird. My kid is a super Marvel nerd, and so we watch all of the Marvel movies and stuff. But honestly, I think my favorite, if not one of my top 2 or 3 movies I've watched all year, is Thunderbolts. One, because it's just different enough from the normal Marvel tropes that it's interesting and fresh. But 2, the last act of the film and the way that they deal with loneliness and depression and just identity and all that kind of stuff. As again, someone who spent 10 years working with teenagers, is a really valuable thing that we need to talk about more. And so the fact that they kind of put that out in the open and basically say, hey man, we all feel lonely and worthless sometimes. And you're not the only one. I just thought it was really, really cool.
I was pleasantly surprised by Thunderbolts, I have to say. As someone who's a big Marvel fan and has been down on the most recent era.
And
it surprised
and let me
me.
clarify real quick. I don't think it's one of the best movies of the year. It's just one of my personal favorites for that reason.
Gotcha.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm going to go for TV show Adolescence. I thought Adolescence was not only beautifully shot, beautifully scripted, but the acting. That young boy, that boy possessed. Somebody need to call the elders of the church and lay hands on that little boy.
He's not playing.
He's something wrong with him. But he channeled it in some good acting. Let's put it like that.
What's the plot of Adolescence? I don't know.
It's about a young girl who's murdered, and they're trying to figure out who killed this young girl, and they're accusing a 13-year-old boy, and it follows his life, his father, and it's beautifully shot because every episode is just one long take. And there's the third episode is when the young boy is meeting with a therapist in the juvenile detention center, and that tension between the young boy and the therapist is so riveting and just chilling. It's really dope. And then the film is Sinners, and you guys talked about the motif. I mean not the motif, the
soundtrack.
The scene where all the griots
the scene with the montage.
Yeah.
The montage in the barn with the griots and the different music, and that to me is probably one of the strongest 2-3 minutes in film that I've ever witnessed. Like I was sitting there just grinning the whole time.
Yeah, I lost it.
And so I'll just.
I want to dedicate a whole episode to Sinners. Is what I want.
Let's do it.
I'm with it.
All right, Tryce.
Yeah, it's me. TV. I'm gonna go with Andor. I think that for a mega series like Star Wars, mega brand like Star Wars that I loved, that needed new life, Andor delivered with cultural commentary, with cinematography, with depth, substance, but also set in the realm of Star Wars, Andor for me. And then the film was Sinners as well. I just love period pieces. I'm a sucker for period pieces. And so you put black folks in a period piece, I love it. So Sinners was it for me.
I don't care if they slaves. I still gonna watch it. I ain't gonna be happy, but I'm gonna watch it.
That's a part of our story, brother. That's a part of our story.
All right, Anastacia, let's close this out with books real quick.
All right, so I have 2 books. One is called Fight Oligarchy. It's by Bernie Sanders. It's about fighting oligarchy. It's a very thin and short book. Basically, the idea is that America is not a democracy, but America is now controlled by a small group of billionaires. But hope is not lost. That through collective action, voting, et cetera, America can take back its democracy. The other book is called Abundance. It's by Ezra Klein and Derek Thompson. And that book, basically the thesis is that change, and it's really a critique of the Democratic Party, which I love, because the Democratic Party needs some critiques, although anyways. The idea is the promises that have been made by the Democratic Party have not been fulfilled in large part because we as Americans have like a scarcity mindset that if we actually try to do the things that folks like Zoran Mamdani and different ones are trying to do, that's going to take away from us. So he gives like strategy for how to like the Democratic Party can keep its promises, and it's really good.
Yeah. Not a fan of abundance, but we'll talk about that later. No, I like Ezra. I'm just not a fan of the abundance theory.
Oh.
just picking. Go ahead, Darrell.
So, book of the year for me that I've been reading is a book called Myth America. It's not really like the list, but really Myth America. But it's I thought I lost my teeth just right then and there. No, dental hygiene freak over here. No,
just making fun of folks.
So Myth America really is using a lot of his historical research to deal with a lot of these myths that we often have about America, but not just it gets pretty granular. It talks about the New Deal, myths that we have coming out of that, myths around how we've been forced to view immigration, myths surrounding even the affordability issues. There's so many different issues that probably have become kind of hot topics within political landscape. So they have a crew of historians to kind of walk through and disabuse you of some faulty understandings that we have around history in America. So
that's dope. Do you know the author's name?
I'll give it to you in a minute. I can't remember right now.
All right, cool. Yeah. Who's next? Is that Ian?
It's me. Go. Yeah. I went with Don't Let Nobody Turn You Around by Justin Giboney. I haven't even finished the book yet. I've still got like 2 chapters to read, but I just really appreciate his approach and where he's coming at things from, and again, it really kind of falling in line with what I had shared before about the dehumanization and objectification of people based on an ideology or a thought process. He really kind of addresses that and not attacks it, but just, the subtitle is How the Black Church's Public Witness Leads Us Out of the Culture War. And so really just doing a really great job so far, at least, of saying, hey, we don't even need to fight in this war. There's a better way. And then I appreciate that he critiques both of the major parties and kind of shares where they're, maybe doing some good things, and then also where their approach is falling short of what Christ calls us to.
That's dope, man. Let us know when you get out of chapter 1.
I'm in chapter 7. Thank you very much.
My book is The Anti-Greek Gospel by Malcolm Foley. We interviewed him. You can go and watch that interview. The book is amazing. It's a quick read. I think it's very compelling. So I'll just kind of leave it at that. And then lastly, we'll go to Tryce.
Yeah, I was floored by this question because I'm surrounded by books. Books are my life as an academic. And then I take this question very literally. Since we're doing a year in review in 2025, I was thinking new books that came out in 2025. And I realized I have read no new books that came out in 2025, and I am ashamed. But the reason for that is that I am in the middle of a dissertation, and the dissertation
You're writing
is
a new
centered
book, let's be clear.
Around Du Bois's concept of second sight that he coined in 1903. So my reading has been of 100-plus-year-old books, But I did read a book on 100-plus-year-old books this year that really changed how I was thinking about the use of metaphor in Black literature. And it's called Habitations of the Veil, Metaphor and the Poetics of Black Being in African-American Literature by Rebecca Fisher. And she's at North Carolina. And that book, for me, really opened up my reading of Du Bois in really special ways, thinking about how Black literature has been used as world-building exercises. And so it was not written in 2025, but I read it in 2025. So I'm going to go with that one.
There you go.
Hey,
That counts.
That works.
That's good. That's good. We're some readers here. You almost got the bad culture, but you kind of take it and inverted it to make it good culture. Come on, somebody.
Talk to me.
Does that deserve a clap? Look, that was a clap.
But I've got a list. I've got a list of books that came out this year that I'm getting to on summer break and winter break. That's whenever I get to read.
But it'll be too late. So anyway, it's going to man, this has been a great conversation. We're excited that you guys have joined us. Hey, close out 2025 strong. You know what I mean? Close it out well.
And rested.
Yes,
Okay.
well and rested. Be joyous and do good.
This is Good Culture.
Thank you for listening to the Good Culture Show. We hope our conversation sparked something in you. And since you've made it this far, you might as well share, subscribe, and leave a review. Stay connected as we curate, create, and commentate. You can watch episodes on YouTube at Show Baraka Show. You can also learn more about good culture at goodcultureinstitute.com. Until next time, be joyful and do good.